So you were able to bring this.
They said that if we wanted to bring them
sick.
in, and
Wow.
I was like, absolutely, that would
Yeah,
set
it's
us up a
perfect.
white wall,
No, it's
like,
perfect.
make it more interesting.
Yeah. So today we are shooting a couple of videos. The end goal is that Alex is a badass entrepreneur. I'm sure he would cringe at that a little bit. He's a super humble guy. But him and his business partner, Zach, have built a substantial pest control business, one of the biggest in the country, as opposed to a typical case study video where we would talk about how great Pesty is. We want to talk about how great they are. The other video will be a little more typical. It will be a sales video letter. But that's going to be something that lives on the Reliant website. And this is their HQ. They have an office here. They also have an office in Lakeway, just outside of Austin. Now we're gonna go in and we are going to start shooting those videos. You and Zach have built this business from the ground up. By definition, most pest control companies are smaller than you guys. By the end of the video, the goal is that the person watching the video goes, that's where I want to be eventually. That's what I'm working towards. And so it's like, wow, this person's who I want to be, and they choose Pesty.
All right, so I'm gonna have you slide.
Nice, yeah, that looks great.
I wanna make sure that
That looks great.
All right, let's do that. Would you please introduce yourself?
I am Alex Parker, the owner and founder of Reliant Pest Management.
You know, when we first started working with you guys, you had a few hundred people per month coming to the website. And within 6 months, your traffic had grown to 10,000 people.
Something about the pest control industry, and my guess is this is service industries in general, is customers are crazy. That's probably not going to make it on the website.
Yeah, I be in my head late at night just contemplating all of my goals. Will I fold or will I chase them?
We're talking about the journey and ambition and competition. It's like Alex is the hero.
My wife that.
Kind of like, really what I want is I want the people who are aspiring to be these guys, the $1 million to $3 million company who are trying to get to 18,000 customers and 15 million in revenue, to see Alex, to see Sky and be like, I want to be them. What? And then I thought it was like plastic or something. This thing's
Yeah, it's actually.
God, dude. Sorry, one more time, photos? Yeah, thanks again for doing all this.
I just like being natural.
Yeah.
It's harder to get there when that spotlight.
Totally, yeah. It's a very unnatural setting.
Whereas if I know someone's just recording, it's not a big deal. But
Right.
if you're sitting there and there's the light, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, just be yourself.
Yeah. It's kind of funny to put clients in that position where they're being interviewed. You're kind of putting them on the spot to answer questions and hoping they answer in the best way possible, hoping that their memory is working well, that they have good energy and focus for the day. But he did good. Today, we are going to client's Christmas party, Reliant Pest Management. Try not to be too much in the way. And then at 9:30, we are going to go have breakfast with Alex. And then at that point, we're pretty much ready to call it a day and head home. Good morning. Is Alex in yet? Or do you know where he is?
Yeah,
He is?
he's around here somewhere.
How was the breakfast?
Oh, it went well.
Yeah? How long have you been with Reliant?
13 years.
So basically the beginning.
Almost.
If I see someone stuck with a company for at least 3 years, like that almost says a lot. Why stick around that long? Like, what is it about Reliant that you enjoy?
I work with a bunch of people that give a crap about what we're doing. We're trying to build something good, something that lasts. It's not just trying to make a buck.
Right.
We hired him as a temporary worker. Oh, 2020 we hired you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was just a temporary worker, and then all of a sudden he became one of our favorite people here. Now he's leading the crew. He's leading all the crews.
He's like family, man.
Oh, you haven't met this guy?
No, Craig, good to meet you.
I started in 2009, 2010.
So almost the beginning. I'm gonna go have breakfast with Alex. It was nice chatting with Trey. Trey is like he does a lot for them, but, and my relationship with him is as their in-house like IT guy and developer. I'm kind of a pain in the ass to him, I think, because I only ever go to him when I need something for the website or something on the website broke. A lot of what you talked about in the interview yesterday was like culture, people, helping people grow. Trey spoke to that too, and I was just asking him like, why have you stuck around for as long as you have? Because it's so uncommon. Like, how do you train that into them? How do you really, I guess, indoctrinate people into the values of the company and make sure that that's top of mind for people?
The values are real to me. I would hope that most of the managers would say, oh yeah, that's who Alex is. He doesn't try to cheat the system, or he doesn't do this. Like, he believes in doing things honestly. These companies have figured out how to overcharge customers. They're charging way over market rates. To justify all like to keep up financially with other companies. It's like escalated pricing to the point where in my mind it's like genuine price gouging. They're ripping people off. One of our competitors, for example, claims that they spray the entire grass in someone's yard. It's not a bad thing to do, but it's not at all, like, it is not going to drive. I don't think we would see any difference in our results.
Yeah, so it's more of a marketing strategy than it is like a actual.
Because most people, especially since COVID, the expectation of customer service, I feel like, has gone down. Companies being underemployed or not having materials became almost okay. People being like, yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. Deal with it. I feel like it's not as bad as it was during the pandemic.
Right. But people's tolerance for. And so if you know what you should be able to do with these tools and you know what's missing, it becomes very obvious to me that these guys charge what they do and they keep people around as long as they do, because clients don't know to demand what's possible. It's funny, I feel like he almost was able to speak to some of the differentiating factors better during our conversation this morning than he was yesterday. And I find that that's common, and that's actually one of the biggest, I think, problems that a lot of these pest control companies face, is that they don't do a great job of clearly outlining what makes them different versus other companies. And in marketing, what makes you different is the single most important component, because if you look and sound the same as everyone else, it becomes a race to the bottom on price. But if I can only get what you're offering from you, and I can't get it from anyone else, then I'm going to be willing to pay more for what you're offering than your competitor. Consumers are not doing their research in a vacuum. You're not the only option, and they're not just looking at you. You have to put yourself in their shoes and think, what is it that they're seeing? What do the other websites look like? What do the other brands look like? What are they offering? Are we all offering the same thing? Knowing what makes you different and then communicating it effectively is super, super important. And if you don't really know what you do different, maybe you just need to communicate what you do in a different way. But if everyone else is doing a really bad job of explaining their service, and you do a better job than anyone else of helping the customer understand why you are who you are and who you serve, you're not necessarily different in the service you're offering, but you're communicating it in a way that is different, and that can also be highly effective.